feel free to put for everyone. So I got some response from Caitlin. Thank you. My Thanksgiving was doing good, but definitely it was too fast. I decided to give myself like 2 days off. Completely don't want to look at computer because I always look at computer for 20 hours a day and I'm really exhausted. I do grading, respond to email. So the best always, if you need to see me and talk to us, please consider to join the office hour. All right. So I would like you to start joining office hour. Okay. Okay, so let's start with today's polling before we continue. Okay. It's called How's Your Tuesday so far? Let me activate some of the polling one more time. And then I'm gonna do it one more time. Okay, it's the same polling you did so far. All right, everyone. So polling is starting and I see somebody say post an exam study guide. Okay, Tiffany, can you send me a message privately? Not privately, can you send me an email? Or are you in my activity class? I think that's some question it's good to raise. Okay, good. I say Angelita is good. Watch previous recording, prepare for the quiz. Okay, awesome. Did anybody have turkey? Did anybody have mashed potato? Did anybody have corn? Did anybody have lobster? Okay. Yes, I saw somebody raise your hand. So Paula, can you share with us what did you have over the Thanksgiving?
For Thanksgiving, my cousin and I made dinner for us because our parents went to Las Vegas. So we had mashed potatoes, shrimp, and they also had my cousin ate steak, but I didn't. I had like buckwheat noodles instead.
Oh, Greek, G-R-E-E-K. It's a different Thai noodle.
No, buckwheat.
Buckwheat noodle.
Like
buckwheat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing, Paula.
Of course.
Appreciate it. I saw somebody have crab. Somebody have turkey. Would you like to see what I eat? That's what I eat. I have lobster noodle. I also went out for hiking. And then after that, I went to finally got a relaxing day because Jenny, I worked that day until 3 a.m. to finish one of the video project I need to prepare for one of my jobs. Okay. And this is my short rib. It's super good. You should go H Mart. And abalone. So, ooh, look at this. This is about $30 per pound. We eat lobster. So we order from one of the restaurants. And one of the lunch it cost us $300. So the money is so easily spent. So one of the questions raised to us would be, how much people spend on Thanksgiving, right? Right, that's one of the statistic question. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. I haven't had my lunch. If you are down from St. Gabriel area, the restaurant I order is from Henry Cuisine. My sister actually ordered it. She's so great. And then she put with a noodle. And or you can go Boston lobster is very popular nowadays. Or you can also go Newport can. Okay. So this is the few places. Okay. Yeah, our family, even though when I was young, you know, when I came here, we live in a small room and then I share with my mom and parents and even though we have little money, that then my mom only made $2 an hour, working 14 hours, 15 hours for showing. But she always strive to make sure I eat good, you know, during a special holiday. All right, well, that's about food. Thank you. let's back to our class business, everyone. Now, first of all, I think you may aware of some of the recording I post already. So I'm going to share with you guys now, and I will put it in the beach board later. So if you want to watch the last week recording, it's right here. On your exam, the quizzes, there will be 4 problems. The first 2 problems is about hypothesis. The next 2 is about either confidence interval for the mean, and also hypothesis for the mean. So you need to say 1 sample t interval or 1 sample mean t interval or 1 sample t test. Okay, so here's the recording. All right, everyone. And in addition, let me share with you guys about my activity that your activity instructor also will share with you. Okay. Now, definitely you have the quiz in the beginning of the activity. So students who are taking it tomorrow, please be alert. It's only open during the activity time. So you need to spend at least 35 minutes of your time, and please start logging in early. If there's any issue, you need to contact your activity instructor. Okay. Now, this is the same procedure what we have, okay? And please stay in the Zoom, and you're gonna put in the breakout room, all right? And be honest, don't cheat, because cheating is violate economic dishonesty. And the quiz definitely gonna close after the time is up, all right? So it will be closed in 35 minutes. So be sure to return to the Zoom after, because we're gonna have activity. Now, another thing, a lot of people concern, any question about quiz number 3? So the topic, I believe I already say that it's gonna be about 1 sample mean t interval, 1 sample t test. And I believe I posed it in the beach board. Did I or did I not? I'm gonna review the beach board once again, if I forgot. For somehow I cannot find my beach board right away. Oh, I found it. I think I put on the beach board, but I want to make sure that. Okay, I found my beach board already. Yes. Yes, it has the quiz information. Right. So you should know where to look for me, my office hour. All right. In particular, if you scroll down to news announcement, it's ready to tell you how long is it, what you need to do. This is the topic. Okay. All right. You do have to know, also be aware of the sampling distribution for the mean. It may not be in your quiz this week, but it's definitely going to be on your final. Any quick question?
So the quiz is during the activity, right? On our activity day?
Yeah, it's always the same as usual. Yeah. Only the activity time in the beginning. And what time is your activity?
It's at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. So 10 a.m. It's going to start 10 a.m. So you need to start logging in at 9:50 a.m. and get ready with it, right? Okay, perfect. Now, I believe I'm not 100% correct, but I will double triple check with our coordinator. This is going to be same as usual. Now, everyone has a final exam schedule already written on your student center, right? Is that true? Now, some people thought we're going to be only using 12:30 to 2:30. But I believe, I'm 80% believe, I don't want to say I'm 100% because I may be wrong, that we are going to have the same thing as usual. The final is going to be on December 14th. Please mark on your calendar. You have 2 weeks from now. And for everyone, not just for each activity, we're going to take it on the same day and same time, everyone. And then you're going to submit it to your activity after. And then upload to your team. And we're going to give more specific information next week about the parts, like we have part A, part B, and we're going to give you a little bit more specific information. But this is the general information about the time and the date, because I want you guys save the time on your calendar. Does anyone have any question regarding the day and the time?
So we have a 24-hour period from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. the next day. It's not from 12:30 to 2.
No.
Okay, thank you.
I am 80% believe.
Okay, but you're going to double check and then get back to us?
Next week, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So there's some question in the, make sure put it as all, because if I cannot see your message, Cynthia can respond you to as well. So when students say, will it cumulative? The answer is yes. It will be cumulative. It will be comprehensive. We like to use a comprehensive. Will you provide the study guide? I'm not sure yet. Will a proctor for the final, or is like before? I would say it will be like before, but I'm not 100% sure. As I say, I don't want to give you 100% answer. I want to double, triple check with other instructor, okay? But I know the in-person one, it's gonna take it on the same time, like the time that lays on the student center. But the online one, will be using the flexible time, 24 hours period. That's my understanding, okay? Does it make sense? Okay, so I'm not sure about the study guide yet. I will get back to you next week for sure. Now, very similar, please start going to your attending 1 hour, not just emailing me. The reason is I will have 1,000. Okay, Christine, do you mind me to give more information later? Okay, so again, we only gave you small information. Just the day and the time, that's it. More information, please wait for next week, okay? Thank you. It will be posted on the beach board for now. Just the day and the time, I want you to be aware of it. So okay, so let's look at the maintenance. Again, don't message me privately. The reason is I have to teach and lecture, right? So think about a professor is teaching lecture, I got like 30 message. That's not a good idea. But if you message as everyone, that will be easier for Cynthia or Evan C, and somebody can answer you the question, okay? Okay, so let's go to maintenance point now. The maintenance point for students who got below 70%, you will get a 0. So you don't see that yet. I will make sure you will get that later. So students who get below 70%, you already see your score. Is that true? Thumbs up that you already know your score on your exam. Okay, I got a lot of thumbs up already. I got 7 thumbs up. I got 9 thumbs up. Particular, I'm going to say Bijan already, no thumbs up. Okay, so if you get 0, please start seeing the maintenance point. Don't just send something to me. The reason is not your mistake. It's my mistake that I have an overwhelming workload that if you send something to me, I will email you the same thing. Have you come to me for tutoring? Have you do this? Have you know how to do this? So you have to make sure you go to a tutoring hour or an office hour of me or TA Jeffrey. Okay, so any of us or tutoring. Okay, don't just send it something to me and say, oh, I'm done the activity point. I email my professor. No. So you have to come to see us first and we'll tell you what to do. Okay, during the office hour time. Okay, the reason is I just have overwhelming work, and when I got too many messages, it worried me. Sorry about that. So let me give you a this. And by the way, student, in my activity class, I already get a grader help me to grade some of the activities. So hopefully by the end of the week, I will get back some of your activity grade. Any question about the maintenance point? So you want a message, you can message everyone, okay? Okay. All right, so let's start today. You have finished putting all. Yes, actually, I have not finished putting all yet for the activity, yes. Is that you regarding the activity, right? Yeah. I'm working with a grader and my grader is gonna help me, okay? Okay, thank you. All right, so the next thing we definitely need to know it's gonna be the lecture. I think we're not gonna finish everything, but we're gonna try to finish as much we can. Okay. All right. This is something we're gonna continue on. Okay. Now I think we finish up to half of it, right? Let me refresh myself. Very forgetful sometimes. According to what we need on that, we did up to okay. Do we just begin a little bit? Can somebody maybe unmute yourself, let me know? Oh, I guess I found it. I found it. Is that where the last thing we talked about?
I think we were on 7 or 8.
Okay, 7 or 8, right? Okay, so this is not correct. I saw we have oh, there you go. Is this what the last thing we talked about?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Alisa, for helping. All right, everyone, are you there? If you're there, can you put thumbs up for me? And don't forget to do the polling. There are 2 more students haven't done your first polling yet. Okay, let's continue. So according what we say, we first gonna be find the expected frequency. The reason is this, the first keyword I'm gonna pay attention is definitely the keyword called fair and also equally likely. Now, because of this, we can using 45 divided by 6, and then that give me 7.5, which is between 7 to 8 times to get a 1, a 2, up to a 6. Now, the next slide would be, this is the problem that we did, right? And then I'm just gonna introduce very fast because we already did that. That's what we starting with. This is the beginning. Okay, that was where we ended. All right, so second one, the first one we did, we just using 45 divided by 6. Okay, let's start this one. Page, slide number 8, everyone. Okay. Now, let's have one of you guys help me out. Who can help me out as a reader? Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Not equally likely. Suppose we claim that instead of being fair, the die is loaded so that the outcome of one occurs 50% of the time, and the other 5 outcomes occur 10% of the time.
Okay. So one is the 50% of the time, one is the 10% of the time, right? First of all, this is not equally likely outcome. The formula we're going to be using for here is E, not N minus K, it's N, which is the number of total outcome, times P. I'm going to say P sub I. The reason is P sub I because it's for each outcome. And then after that, we're going to using the probability. So one of the outcome of one is 50%. So let's write out in decimal format. So 50%, you can write 1/2. I like to write in decimal format, which is 0.5. And then we have the other one. This is 0.1. And then very similar to the 3 is also 0.1. 4 is also 0.1. 5 is also 0.1. And then 6 is 0.1. Right. Now from here, we can see that the 0.5 and then 0.1, 0.1 continues on. Now we're gonna multiply the n. Do they give any n? What did they give in the last one? I didn't want to using the one from the last one. So let's try 45, okay, this time. We're gonna using the same one as last one, which is 45. So therefore, I'm gonna using 45 times 0.5. What do you get? We're using 45 times 0.1, continues on. And they are the same one, right? So I'm gonna draw an arrow for all. Do you guys generally draw 2 dots? I'm gonna draw an arrow. That's gonna be the same one for the 3, 4, 5, 6. After that, I believe I'm doing mental math. If I'm wrong, let me know, okay? So 22.5. 4.5. And then same thing, 4.5 and 4.5. Right. Okay. Is that for all? 4.5? Okay, good. Now, based on this, as you can see, the proportion is different. I don't like the 4.5, it's not a whole number, but we're gonna say it get 1 is between 22 to 23, getting a 2 is between 4 to 5, and 3 is 4 to 5, and so on. Right. No problem, Ashley. Don't worry, you're good. Any question for this slide in particular? Okay. I'm gonna be also putting into the team, so we have a record. This is week 15, Tuesday. Okay, good. Now the next one, we do like you to be aware beside finding those numbers. The big question is this. Well, how do I know if there is a difference between the actual observed frequency or the expected frequency? And Now, according to one of our coordinator, we not just want you to learn about the step, which a lot of people be aware of the PMAT, but we want you to get to the conceptual step. Do you understand how to do hypothesis testing? Right. So our goal is going to be using our favorite PMAT step, but we would like you to understand it conceptually. If the distribution of the observation color match the distribution of the color claimed by the company using the level significant 0.05. So first of all, the P is stand for parameter. Right? Now, I would like, and when you using the P, a lot of people forgot the word population all. So don't forget that keyword. Right? So some of the little keyword you may get deduct point on your test. Right? So little point will deduct it. Be aware of when you're doing it. So P stands for the proportion of all M&N candies are red. Piece of blue represents proportion of all M&N candies are blue. Piece of G represents proportion of all M&N candies are green. Piece of Y represents proportion of all M&N candies are yellow. Right. Piece of O, 11% proportion of all M&N candy are orange. Piece of B, 11% proportion of all M&N candies are brown. Right. So does it make sense why we're using this notation? Any question on the first steps? Identify the parameter. Now, I think this is a nice, interesting first one. It does have to be aware what we try to be finding out, right, in this case. Okay, everyone's good with that. Let's make it a little bit fancy for you guys. Next, we definitely need to know, okay, so get to this step, some of you guys get to deduct some point. We're not using the C-test anymore. Not the T-test. With the goodness of it, we're using the chi-square test. Again, chi-square test. Not the C-test. Either the one sample C-test or one sample T-test, no. So one sample Z-test or one proportion Z-test is usually for proportion, right? One and two proportion, there's also a two proportion Z-test as well. One mean or two means T-test is for the mean. With you doing the different categories for the goodness of fit, you're using it for chi-square test. Right. Okay, so P sub R is the proportion of the red, which is 13%. P sub blue is 24%, and so on. And then you need to say that at least one of the proportion is not giving us the given claim distribution. Right? At least one of the proportion, maybe 13% doesn't match in 30%. For the red, maybe it's only 10%. Maybe blue color is not 24%, maybe it's only 20%. Right? So our counted observed frequency, that what we counted is different matching what the claim or the MAN company claim. Does anyone have any quick question on this slide in particular? Next up, we're going to work on this assumption. Now, a lot of people may forgot to do that. So there's two things you need to check. Number one, you need to know observer count is that given from a random sample. So we have observer count is given from each category, right? We have blue, red, brown, and yellow, orange, and one more green. They're given in a random sample. And also, if I ever find the expected frequency, we add up all the observed frequency. So luckily, it was added for us already. So the sum of all frequency, I'm going to say OF, is my acronym for observed frequency. That gives us 138. So when you're using 138 times 0.13, right? And same thing, 138 times 0.24. One 38 times 0.16. One 38 times 0.14. One 38 times 0.20. One 38 times 0.13. And that was one. If you have an answer, share with us now. Okay, dokie. I got Kaylin and Damien answer for the first one, right? So I got 17.94. Maybe you want to round to 18. Okay. We got 33 for the second one. So I'm just round to a whole number for now. It's not as accurate, but it's actually a little bit more presentable. 22.0, 22. Thank you for Kaylin and also Alisa. 19, I'm just round to a whole number for each of those. And then this one is, let me see. Somebody say 27, 28. This is 28, 27.6. And then 0.13 was the same one as the first one, 18. Okay, perfect. Am I right so far, everyone? I'm just round to whole number. 2 decimal is always the best. How are we doing? If you ever add this together, somebody be my honor, help me out to add 18, 33, 22, 19, 28, 18. What do you guys get? Oh, nicely, like Damien say, we get 138. Right. Perfect. The next one we need to know, how do you using this formula? Okay, sounds we get 2 decimal. Okay, 2 decimal sounds is the better one. Sorry about that. So yeah, round to 2 decimal place for the expected count. I just want make it 1, but I want to emphasize to be better with the chi-square. Round your answer for the expected frequency to the 2 decimal place. Right. So first of all, we're gonna using the O minus the E divided by E. Okay, so how do I using this formula, right? And I'm gonna teach you how to do that, right? The more observed frequency are different from expected frequency, the more evident we're gonna be against what. Now, before we moving on, what do you guys think? If you see it, do you think the observed frequency are far from expected frequency, or are they closer together? Are they far apart or are they closer together? They closer? They close? A lot of people say they're close together. They close? I think they're a little bit far apart. They're not too close. It's one's trying to do it, one's the 18, right? So it's about 5 difference. So my observation, I believe that, but my observation is not always right, but let's test it. The observed frequency and the expected frequency are far apart. Like they're not really close at all. Right. So let's reply here now. Okay. Now, I would like to say if they are very, very different, I'm gonna be against the no hypothesis, right? So again, it's against the no. So how would you calculate this, right? Okay. I would like to give you the middle polling, right? In case we run out of time. So give me a moment. I'm gonna set up the middle polling. Okay. Okay, it's gonna be there in another 30 seconds. Okay. All right, everyone, I'm gonna stop the other polling now since it's already more than 30 minutes or 40 minutes already. Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys now. Good. Looks like a lot of people did 1, 2, 3. Let's start with the middle polling now. The middle polling is what we just did about the observed count and experiment count. Okay? All right. Are you guys ready in the middle polling, by the way? Okay, I'm gonna take a snipping tool shot and paste this one again. Okay, so the next one, we would like to definitely construct the test statistic. Now, you know Professor He always loved the work, right? Or every math professor do want to show the work. So please make sure you show the work. Okay, so I'm gonna go up and down if you don't mind, just so I can check out the number. So I'm gonna go copy up everything we have so far. First of all, we have the red. I don't think this is an effective one. I'm gonna using the formula right away on there. The table. The table is not effective. It's too much work. So we don't mind. I think this is better right horizontally. So using your O minus the E and then divided by E. So the first one, red one, I'm going to using 23 as an observed frequency. And then subtract it, the expected frequency, so which is 17.94. And then we're gonna square this. And then we're gonna divide it by 17.84. Right? Does it make sense? Okay. So I'm gonna do one more, and then if somebody can give me green and yellow, that would be great. The blue one would be 28 as an observed frequency. Subtract what we expect to get is about 33. So we're using 2 decimal. The reason you're using the number decimal is how you, right? And then square. And then divided by 33.12.
With the stuff we're minusing it, would we put the rounded number or the actual number?
The decimal one, the
Okay.
actual one. The more it's going to be more accurate.
Got it. Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Extra credit opportunity. Who can help me get me green and yellow? Raise your hand if you know. Okay, Jenica, go ahead.
You want me to just do the formula, right?
Yes, for green
All
and
right.
yellow.
For green, I have 19 minus 19.32.
Green color?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, for the green one, it's 21 minus 22.08.
Yeah, pause a little bit. I'm using my
Oh,
mouse.
it's 08.
08. Divided by
22.08.
Okay, good.
And then for yellow,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be 19.
Okay. Everybody see my yellow color, or should I
Yeah.
using red? Is it visible?
I
for
can read it.
everyone? Okay. Because it's too light.
Minus 19.32 squared
The square is right here. Parenthesis, close parenthesis. And then divide.
over 19.32.
Okay. All right. Janika, can you record yourself one extra credit? And then mark and send me a team later, okay?
Okay.
And then remind me in my office how to add your points later. We can add it to one of the other activity at the lecture. Next person who want to do orange and brown? Somebody else. You, CO part?
Yes. 22 minus 27.6.
Just do a little bit slow. Sorry about that. 22
Minus
uh-huh,
27.6.
square.
Yeah, square.
Mhm.
Over 27.6.
Perfect. And then brown.
25 minus
25 minus.
17.94
Uh-huh,
square.
uh-huh. Yes.
Over 17.94.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Any questions so far? Okay, UCO, please mark down 1 point for yourself. Today is November the 30th. Any question from anyone how I got this? Now, somebody else. Add it up. Give you another extra credit. Oh, Christine is the first person add it up. She say the total equals 6.194. Don't mind me share with everyone. Do you agree with her answer? Okay, so yeah, I think her answer is good. So Christine, you have one more extra credit point on November 30. You're the first student who got that. Okay. At this moment, does anyone have a question about how I get it? How I turn this in? So, everyone's okay? All right. So if you don't mind, I'm going to be also taking a snipping tour shot to make a record what we have done because I want to make sure everyone get the notes for this. Okay. Do we round to 2 decimal place? Yeah, you can round to 2 decimal place. Okay. So the next thing after we calculate this, now I think that's easier than the table, right? So that's sufficient enough if you show this, right? Okay. Does it make sense? So is that high or is that low, right? That's sufficient enough. I think this is better to show in just a table, my personal opinion. Okay. The next thing, when the null is true, all expected count is at least 5. Chi-square has approximated a chi-square distribution with the df. The df is represent k minus 1, right? Okay. So what is the K? Oh yeah, the last polling. Sorry about that. Let me finish very fast. I'm gonna do the last polling, okay? 6 minus 1 give us 5. And one thing I found out today, after I get my math book, my computer adding better. So I'm not sure that's gonna be the case. The last polling now, everyone. It's gonna say the weekend. Okay. And a lot of people don't know my office hour is also written there. So it's written in 1,000 times. So it's a good idea for you to know when is my office hour. Okay, it's also on the beach board. All right, everyone. We're gonna continue 2 more slides and then you can get going. Okay, if you have time, stick around and then we're gonna be done. So the p-value is a test statistic that's gonna be always on the right. I always think about Mr. Right or Mrs. Right of the chi-square. So this helps me illustrate something. Now in particular, this is the chi-square. It's always due to the right. Right. Then if you know that it's not symmetrical like normal curve, not like a bell shape. And always start at 0 right here. Okay. It depends on the degree of freedom. And for this case, it's K minus 1. Similar to T distribution, it also depends on the degree of freedom, right? So as the degree of freedom increases, the chi-square generally approaching to normal. So my normal distribution probably look like here. Now in this problem in particular, like what we got earlier, we got the K, D minus degree freedom is 5, the chi-square is 6.19. To find that, I'm gonna ask you to draw with Professor He. So I do need you to see the formula to know how to calculate that. And I love you draw the bell shape. Did everybody hear that? Later, you're gonna deduct some point. Love you draw the bell shape. Shade the region to the right. That region is actually 0.2888. Now the last thing, do you think the p-value is low or the p-value is high? The p-value is actually high, higher than the level significant. So toward the end, everyone, you have to know how to communicate the result. So the last thing is, since the p-value is greater than the level significant, we reject the null. And there is sufficient evidence to conclude that or to support that. What do we want to conclude, guys? That is not sufficient. That is not sufficient because we felt, oh, we do not reject the no. Do not reject the no. To conclude that, one of the proportion is different from other. So I generally like to go to the claim that what we did earlier. I'm going to copy this little sentence right here and then paste into right here now. So that's the alternate hypothesis. Let me change your color. And that's always our alternate, HA. Does it make sense? How do we get the p-value? That's a good question. We're using the chi-square test, which we're gonna show you the next class. Okay, Christine? Okay, but you're using salt. My favorite thing is gonna say salt. You probably already know how to do it. Okay, but I do want to end today's because some people are waiting to talk to me. All right. So before we continue, somebody have a question about the wet assign. Is that true? Yeah, the wet assign. Should I change it to due on Thursday? Is that okay for you guys? If you agree with it, can you put yes in the chat? Okay, give me a second. I have hard time to log in with this. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have a hard time to log in my account.